Hello everyone, it's Jessie. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm recording my very first tutorial and it is for these lovely leg warmers. Now I don't like super long intros and I know y'all are here for the tutorial, so I'll get started right away. Materials needed are a 4.0 crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a stitch marker, measuring tape, which is suggested but not required, and a threading needle. Of course, you will need some yarn. I picked a slightly off-white color and this one is called Antique White. We will start by chaining 70, but first we need to make a slip knot. So hold the beginning piece of the yarn over your two fingers, wrap it around, turn your hand around. You're going to make an X and then hold it in place with your other fingers. Bring up the bottom part of the X and you're going to bring it over and make a capital A. Then you're going to grab the middle piece of the capital A. You can pull this so it is easier for you to see. Pull the middle part of the A, slowly bring it off your fingers while holding everything loosely, and there is your slip knot. You will put this on your crochet hook and pull the longer piece of the yarn to close your slip knot. And don't pull too tight to where we cannot chain. You can loosen it up just by pulling on it. Now we will start our chain of 70, which was around 19 inches for me. So just keep chaining and I will meet you at the end. Alright, here is my chain of 70 and it is pretty long because I want this leg warmer to be pretty chunky whenever I put them on. So after you have your desired length, we are going to chain an extra 3 chains. And then we will skip those 3 chains and double crochet into the 4th chain. This is to create a fake double crochet just to build up the height of a double crochet. That was kind of confusing, but just trust me. Okay, so yarn over, go into that 4th chain and pull up a loop. Now you will have 3 loops on your hook. You will yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, yarn over one more time and pull through the last 2 loops, and that is a double crochet. And you can see the mock double crochet here, that is the chain 3. And now we will just double crochet all the way to the end of our chain. I will meet you there. Here we are at the end of row 1, 70 double crochets. To start row 2, you will chain 1 and turn your work. Row 2 will be made up of half double slip stitches all the way through. You will be half double slip stitching into this first stitch. This is a chain, you will not use that. And we are half double slip stitching in the back loops, just like in row 1. So this is the back loop, that's where you will be going into. These are all the back loops, just so you can see. Now to do a half double slip stitch, it is almost a regular half double crochet, but instead you are yarning over, going through, pulling up a loop, and instead of yarning over and going through all 3 loops, you are just slip stitching. So you are just going through these 2 loops. It is a bit difficult. I had a lot of trouble getting used to it, but yes, I will show you better stitches here further along. And so we are just doing this all the way down. I will meet you at the end again. So we're at the last stitch of the 2nd row and we are going to be half double slip stitching into the top of the chain 3. And I just turned my work upwards so y'all could see into the back loop. Don't forget, we are making a half double slip stitch. So now we are done with row 2. For row 3, we will chain 1, turn our work, and again we are working half double slip stitch in the back loops only all the way down our work. So again, I'm just trying to show y'all even though it is a bit difficult for me. I hope you can see, and I will meet you at the end of row 3. Okay, so we just finished row 3. Now for row 4, we're going to chain 3, turn our work, and we are double crocheting in the back loops only all the way down. Don't forget that we are not double crocheting in the first stitch. Since we have the chain 3, we are going to double crochet right into the next stitch. And the rest of this pattern is just rows 1 through 4 being repeated over and over. So you're going to do 1 row of double crochet, 2 rows of half double slip stitch, and then 1 more row of double crochet, and you're just doing that over and over until the leg warmer is long enough to wrap around your calf, or however high or low you want it. You want it to fit around the thickest part of your leg. So I will meet you after I do a couple more rows just to check in one last time. I have done 2 sets of row 1 through 4, so 8 rounds total. And so like I just said, you will keep repeating this process until the leg warmer is to your desired length. So I will meet you back once I have finished mine. Real quick, this is what mine looks like. And now we will slip stitch the ends together to complete and join this leg warmer. We will be slip stitching the very first row to the very last row. And so we will fold our project hot dog style, line up our project so we can insert our hook into the very last double crochet or half double slip stitch, whatever row you ended on. Just go into the very last stitch and we will do a regular slip stitch. So go in, pull up a loop, and then slip stitch, chain 1, turn your work, and we will line up both ends of the project all the way down to the bottom so it is even and our project aligns. That way one side of the project is not longer than the other. So we chained 1, that counts as a stitch, so we will go into the next stitch over, which is a bit difficult to see, but just do your best. It doesn't matter if it's completely perfect, just because we're slip stitching and this will be the back of your work anyways. So just do your best to grab both stitches. We're no longer doing just the back loop. We are now working in both the front and back post. So just slip stitch all the way down, and this is where the stitch marker comes in. If you want, you can move it down every like 10 stitches or so, that way you know you're keeping your work even, or you can just attach it to the very last 2 stitches at the end, that way you know the end of your project will not be off. I have just finished slip stitching all the way down to the end, so now we will use this beginning tail of yarn to tie together the end of our project. We will use our scissors to cut good length of yarn off, chain 1, and pull the yarn all the way through to make a little knot. And usually I would use the threading needle to pull through the 2 pieces of yarn to the inside of the project and then tie a knot, but I did the opposite here just because I forgot. So I would do that way you can hide the knot and it's not sticking out, but you can't see it too much. And again, this is the back of the project, so it doesn't matter too much. But yes, just thread the pieces of yarn through your needle, pull the pieces into the back, and then you will just weave the ends in and out of the work, and making sure that they do not show up in the front. You want to keep them in the back so you cannot see them or they don't stick out. And I'm not really the best at this. I just go through random stitches, so I can't give too much advice about that. Then you just cut off your excess yarn. I leave a tiny bit of yarn out just so there is a little extra yarn when I am actually wearing the piece and it stretches out. And there you have it, one finished leg warmer. You just do this entire process all over again to make your second leg warmer, and then you have 2. Here is the final product. They are so soft, chunky, and detailed. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.